Good evening, Warband. Welcome to episode 121 of Sir Yeetus' Thoughts. My bad for the quality. I really don't know what's happening. I don't know StreamYard or internet connection, but I checked on YouTube and the quality was pretty bad. So I'm gonna see if I can get that fixed. But besides that, this is gonna be an interesting topic today because I've been trying to be standoffish when it comes to black supremacists or the racial issues that we have in the manosphere in general that's been popping up lately. But now I think it needs to be addressed. I think it needs to have a response, especially somebody that is of color, right? Because if somebody that's not black or somebody that's cis, right? Is that what they say these days? Um, they're not going to take it seriously. But I'm here to let you guys know my opinion, and I'm gonna let Gray in as well so he can give his opinion because I'm really getting sick and tired of the racist nonsense that's been going around lately. Like, it is beyond ridiculous. It is a waste of time, and I'm definitely going to be holding black men, especially, but I'll say the black community in general, accountable in this live stream. Because I really do believe that this victimhood mentality is getting out of hand. And once again, I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist. I never said that. I never said there is no racist. But for the last how many years, where you have the potential to thrive like everybody else, when there's the slightest inconvenience in your life, you're quick to point the fingers at the white man, at the system, at anybody you can point at except for yourselves. All right. And I guarantee you, I've been in a worse place than a lot of black men has been. I've been in a horrible place when I was younger. Yet, I guarantee you I've done more than a lot of these men has done in their lives. And not once, if there's an obstacle, I start pointing fingers at, oh, it's a white man. Oh, it's this person. Oh, it's that. Oh, whoa, me. Oh, my God. Oh. No. If I fail, if I fall down, I dust myself off and I try again. And we're gonna continue with the other topics I want to talk about because at this point it's getting beyond annoying, especially with the hypocrisy of a lot of black men in the manosphere. The hypocrisy. Because I'm sure you guys already saw my video where I joined for only 5-6 minutes with this guy named Hammer. And he started squealing like a fucking, I don't know, chipmunk and rage quit. Wasn't willing to have an actual conversation, black man to black man, right? He was just busy trying to yell over me and Undead Chronic, trying to yell over our points, because in his mind, in his perspective, he believes the person that yells the loudest is right, which is definitely not the case. And that's another reason why I don't really want to talk about these type of situations, because the people that you're talking to, they're not able to have a civilized conversation. They're not able to sit down and have a one-on-one conversation. They just believe I'm right, you're wrong. You're going to listen to me because because you're not black. I'm black. I'm the victim here. You listen to me. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But I'm gonna let Gray in soon. Give me 1 second. Do. Yep, too much victim mentality. I agree. Um, Come on, man. Mistress Kickson, thank you for the generous donation. It is designed by the elite so they can so they can be empowered. They can't win without it. Exactly. Yeah, it's pretty much a divide and conquer situation. Definitely is. And we're definitely gonna get into details soon. Kono, a racist is a racist. They are just looking to hide behind the community so they don't have to take individual accountability. Exactly. Exactly. Do. What's going on, Dom Puniti? Don't judge by the color of your skin, by the content of your character. Yeah, MOK was definitely right. Do. All right, I'm gonna start adding Gray right now. What's going on, Gray?
Good evening, Warband. I've got some game footage going here if we want to kick that off, but yeah, this one. There's a lot of layers to this particular topic.
I know, I definitely have a lot to say because it's crazy how when a community that says that they want to stick together and stick it to the white man and all that other nonsense, right? Things that they've been hearing for decades now, right? Usually from single mothers, because of course they don't want to take accountability regardless. When another Black person has a different opinion on the subject, they're quick to be racist themselves. They're quick to disown. They're quick to use racial slurs, like instantly. As soon as and Hammer, I'm sure you, not Hammer, Gray, I'm sure you've seen that clip, right? And you were in the live stream. I forgot. He was quick to call me a coon, and he didn't even meet me yet.
And the thing is, like, we know it was freaking predictable too. Chronic even predicted that he'd start calling that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's Hammer and General Tito. They're just doing this to get some clout off of Undead Chronic, but I do believe they have belief in what they say as well. So when it comes to that situation, that guy Hammer, he returned with another live stream, right? Because of course he doesn't want to take a L and let it go, even though he deleted all of his videos and all of his content after we pretty much destroyed him in that live stream. He came back and he said, "Oh, I don't know who that guy Sir Yeetus is, but he's the biggest C word." I forgot to say one. He's the biggest C word that I ever met. Really. Just because I say that other races deal with racism as well, besides the Black community. Really? I'm the biggest C word? Come on. Like, it's just, when it comes to these type of men, because it doesn't even have to be just Black men. When it comes to these type of men, there really is no use having a conversation with them. Because what's up?
I'm just thinking, like, congratulations, Hammer. You have now reached the esteemed levels of General Kinetics.
Yeah, literally, he's literally up there, and he came back again, trying to save face. No, we have everything saved. It's in 4K. You are literally the epitome of a weak, fragile victim that just can't own up to your setbacks. Like it's just quickly, oh you redneck, oh you this, you that, you run a white coat. Like what? What? Are you kidding me? Like, it is astronomical how far the Black community will go in 2022. It is crazy. And it's not just me, right? Kenneth Owens, Officer Tatum, AL, is it ALS? I forgot what his name was, but any African American that considers themselves as conservative and doesn't share the similar views of, oh, it's the system's fault, it's the white man's fault, We want reparations. As soon as that black person has a different opinion, literally immediately cast aside. Oh, you're just the rest of them. You Uncle Tom. You C word. You this. You that. I'm like, so are you just being a hypocrite at this point? Are you just being a straight up hypocrite? Then you heard that hammer dude just literally going off. Like, I'm like, okay.
Well, and that's the thing. It's not just different ideas.
That's his name. Yeah. Thank you.
It's different ideas that go in a specific direction, i.e., they don't want to work. Like that's like wait. These are the guys who, if they had to choose between being slaves and having everything in life paid for versus having to work every day for their dollar, they'd choose to be slaves.
I agree. There's plenty of successful black men and women that bust their butt, and a good amount of them came from the bottom. Not once I heard. See, when it comes to my channel, right, gentlemen, when do you ever hear me blame anything on any other race with issues with the black community or issues in my life? When did I ever just say, oh, it's their fault, it's his fault? Is that when did I ever go and try to say racial slurs against anybody else?
Let's be honest. Anyone that you'd say racial slurs against would get you banned on YouTube. So,
yeah, pretty much. But regardless, not once, because honestly, your skin color is the least of my concerns. It is literally the least, and it just shocked me on how weak and pathetic, weak-minded this hammer dude was. His voice gave it away. Like, it gave it away instantly. Like, clearly, you have a good amount of setbacks in your life, so you trying to take it out on everybody on the non-black side. And then you quit and ran away, and now you want to come back for round 2 for no reason, or you just don't have any friends. I don't know.
That's the thing, but like that was probably the biggest bout of attention that he got. Like imagine if your most popular video is like you go and pick a fight with Mike Tyson and you get punched out. It's like, well, my jaw may be fucking broken, but that also got 7-figure views on YouTube. So I'm going to go find Mike Tyson again.
Exactly. And the point I was trying to get across during that debate is I don't see how you're still going to keep bringing up slavery and horrible racism and this and that. We are the most, how do I say? We had the most freedom out of any of our ancestors in the U.S. currently. In fact, the affirmative action is definitely helping a lot of African Americans, especially when it comes to a free ride through college.
Yeah, and that's the exact thing. Like, they get into when systemic racism is talked about as the whites oppressing the blacks, it's talked about in vague terms, like highly subjective things, like, oh, like, why didn't I get that job or that kind of business deal, or why is it's not even given that level of specifics. It's always this vague, the white man is somehow keeping down the black man, but it's always described in the vaguest terms. Whereas it's like, well, with pro-black, like, you can point to, like, where's the white only school, where is the white only scholarships, like, yeah, where's the white only welfare programs?
Yeah, I agree. And on top of that, wasn't there a college last year or a couple years ago that intentionally segregated the graduating class? I would have to look
Oh,
that up.
oh, there's straight up been like a college that for one day straight up said no whites allowed.
I'm like, what? So who's truly the racist? Hmm.
Well, and then it's like, oh, when a white dude goes in a mass shooting, it's not talked about. It's like, okay, what qualifies as a mass shooting happens fucking daily in many major cities where it's primarily black on black. And then there's that whole incident with the truck and the protest where 50 plus people were run over, and that shit was fucking buried.
Oh, but yeah, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that. it
That's
just
the thing. Like a mass shooting only gains serious traction if it's a white dude on black people, or like a white dude on like a whole bunch of like mixed stuff. It doesn't gain traction if a black dude stuff. And then you look at all these states where there's the under 1K and it's like not a felony or whatever. And I was like, well, what's the overwhelming group of people who are actually committing these crimes? It's almost as though an entire group of people are being exempted from the law in this case. And so that's the thing. Like, you can point all these individual examples out, and all the counter that this hammer dude have is, oh my god, like he's so fucking offended and getting the vapors that someone brings up something so offensive to him, like, oh my god. It's like, dude, tell your daddy to get his cock out of your ass and we can have a proper conversation here.
Oh shit. Anywhere he does it, like, oh my god, oh, like, bro. See, it's just no talking to a person like that. Where they're quick, they're not even going after the argument. They're immediately, constantly in their speech attacking the person with racial slurs.
Yeah, it's like, I am offended, therefore I must be correct.
Right? Like, that's not how it works in the real world. Maybe in a good amount of democratic cities, but not.
Well, that's the thing. That is the real world to them, and that's the problem. Like, when that is your lived reality, day after day after day, I mean, you almost can't really blame them in that sense, because they've been sheltered from any sort of critical thought or accountability.
Right. Hey, give me 1 second. The real Israel 144. Now white people are victims. Y'all are demonic. When did I say white people were victims? I said they deal with racism just like any other race in the United States. But the difference is they deal with it. Difference is I deal with it when it comes to pass. But the black community, right, that I'm included in, they love to blow it out of proportion. It doesn't even matter if that guy committed a certain crime, if that guy was at fault. For some reason, he's innocent because a white cop or a white person decided to defend themselves or arrest that guy, even though that black person committed the crime. That makes no sense.
And we straight up see examples like that subway incident.
Give me 1 second, bro. If you really believe that white people do not deal with racism, then you're definitely not aware of your surroundings. You're definitely not aware, bro. But let's continue.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, case in point, that subway incident. The gentleman who committed that crime, he was not white. And like every white guy on that knows that if they try to do the right thing and help out this woman who's being assaulted, like at best, like they're going to get absolutely nothing out of it.
Right.
Far more likely, it's going to be filed as a hate crime.
I agree. I definitely agree. And it's like, in my opinion, right? Why do I have to hate a certain group of people about something that their great grandparents did? Like, why would I hate a certain group today for something that happened a long time ago?
Well, beyond that, mind, white people are the only ones who stopped racism, actually paid in both money and blood to stop racism. I don't hear any of the smoke directed towards the Muslims or any of the Middle Eastern countries that still practice it.
I agree.
The smoke is only given to the one group of people that decided, you know what, this is morally wrong. We should stop.
Which country? Sudan? That they still practice slavery. I know a few other countries over there still practice slavery, but when it comes to that situation, man, it is crazy how black people they just believe that like they're the only ones that were slaves, right? And once again, I'm not taking away from the situation of the slave trade and the slavery that happened for around 300 years. I think it was around there, 400 years. I'm not taking that away. But what I'm saying is, throughout history, anybody could be slaves. Any group of people could be slaves.
Well, and that's the thing. The original word slave comes from the word Slav, as in the Slavic people. And guess what pigment the Slavs are?
Right. I don't know.
So, no, the idea that
this comment, hold up. They benefit from it. It wasn't that long ago. Huh?
That long ago, it could be fucking 10,000 years, and these people would still be bitching about how it wasn't that long ago.
Oh shit! It's
look, here's the thing, you motherfucker. The black people were getting out of it. Black Wall Street was a thing. The blacks were incredibly rich. They had built themselves out of it within a decade or two of it ending. And then the government came in and told the single mothers, hey, you kick the father out of the household, we'll give you some free cash. And that annihilated the wealth. So don't give me that bullshit like it wasn't that long ago. The bounce back was incredibly fast until y'all sold each other out. Specifically, your women sold you out. But you're not going to get fucking mad at them because that's your mama we talking about.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. And once again, I repeat, I am not taking away from what happened to slavery to African Americans. All right, it was horrible. It was fucked up. But right now, in 2022, black people have one of the most opportunistic ways to be successful or at least get out of poverty if they want to.
And there's the other thing. This was one thing that actually heard like from a Jewish guy that he said the biggest reason that the black people are poor is because they get all their money and they spend it on white people shit. Like Gucci ain't a fucking black owned brand.
Yep, Louis Vuitton, all those other name brands. And yeah, I do agree that there are black businesses that they try to do, try to open up some here and there.
Yeah, but then you look at the BLM riots. What were the areas predominantly burned down? It wasn't white-owned businesses that got the torch. It wasn't white neighborhoods that get looted.
I agree. But when the black businesses are around, the black community is willing to spend top dollar on Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all that crazy stuff. But when it comes to your own black business, try to build up your own, you know, Black Wall Street all over again. Always ask for some type of discount. Always ask for, like, hey man, hey, we peoples, bro. We peoples, you know what I'm saying? Just let me get a discount, bro. Get 20, let me get half off. Where was that same energy when you were paying thousands upon thousands of dollars for those other name brands?
And let's be honest, why take a 50% discount when you can take a 100% discount?
Yeah, especially with the riot. Yeah. Oh, it's insane. Rishi, talk about friendly fire. Hey, somebody got to tell the truth. Somebody has to have a different perspective besides being victims. So, and plus, they already disowned me anyway, right? You guys heard the conversation. Hell, that dude Hammond repeated it again today. He's the biggest C word I've ever met. How? We only talked for like 5 minutes. What?
And you see, this is the funny thing because it's like, yeah, I'm a white dude. Guess what? I don't fucking care what color your skin is. I care more. That's the thing. I care more in the true greedy capitalist sense. Is like, look, your skin color is not going to get in the way of what the fuck you can do for me. I want to fucking mutually exploit you. If I was like, no, I only want to mutually exploit white people. It's like, no, for fuck's sake, I don't give a shit. That'll just hold shit back. That'll lower opportunities.
Anyway, my bad, Pepsi. Thank you for the generous donation. You can't defeat ideas. For example, my racism, which is why Democrats need it in order to campaign. Democrats don't fight the individual cases, but the idea as a whole. Yep, I agree. Why people can't like comprehend, like for some reason, right? They can't comprehend why there's always an issue, a gigantic issue, in the black community every 4 years.
Well, here, let me actually make a bit of a counter proposal here. I just had an interesting thought. What if racism isn't for black people, but it's for white people?
How so?
Because I'm pretty sure that if you just campaigned on giving black people a shit ton of money, that would get the same number of votes. The racist card is to guilt white people into accepting being robbed.
I see what you're saying. Fucking manic.
Oh, he's the hot new trending content creator. Everyone's talking about him. It's been all over Twitter for years.
He has 2 million followers on TikTok. But it's crazy that we're still in 2022. A good amount of the black community still have this, woe me, I can't get out of this lifestyle because the system, the other ethnic groups are keeping me down. Yeah, it's getting old at this point.
That's the key target right there. It's I can't get out of it. Not we can't get out of it. I can't get out of it. Racism will exist in their minds until they personally are out. Like, I don't hear like wealthy, well-to-do black people bitching about racism unless they got their money via race grifting.
Right. Like Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm still trying to look for that school. You had a lot of people donate to you, bro, but there's still no school to be found.
And like, let's be honest, like all that BLM money that bought those mansions, I'm pretty sure it wasn't a black person that sold those mansions. All that BLM money just went from probably a lot of white women to the hands of probably some white landowner out in California.
I agree. It's just crazy how since the beginning, people like me, ABL, uh, Officer Tatum, Candace Owens, or any conservative or any black person that has common sense can see through BLM. But the black community is so shocked when the co-founder of BLM bamboozled them instantly. She just cheated from the black community with all the money and lived among the whites or other ethnic groups. Really, all that speech, all that time to try to help the black community. That's what she's been saying for a couple years. But when she had her pockets filled, fuck y'all. I'm about to live in the valley.
That's the thing. Like, you can tell them over and over again, but then a whole bunch of stirring speeches are get up that make them believe what they want to believe. And they're like, "Oh, I can throw myself behind this, and then I'm helping." And then get fucked over, and it's like, what do you do there? Because they can't accept that they got bamboozled again. Like, it's easier to lie to a person than to convince them they've been lied to. Because lying to a person by flattering their ego, they want to believe that. Lying to a person, like telling a person the truth, but a way that makes them like stupid or attacks their ego, they want to reject that.
I agree. And don't get me wrong. All right. Of course, no matter if you're conservative or liberal, rich or poor, well, whatever you are, you're black at the end of the day. All right. And there will be one or two crazy dudes that are racist towards black people. Okay. We will deal it will be dealt with if the time comes. But as a person like myself and like-minded people, I don't let that hold me down. I don't let skin color get in the way whatsoever. I've worked with people from all over the world, and I dealt with less racism than back at home with the black community. Ain't that some shit? Oh, yeah, I said it. The most racism I've dealt with was with the black community. Just think on that, gentlemen. As soon as I'm like, you know what, I don't want to be on the corners. I don't want to be a gangbanger. I don't want to sling some sugar to make quick money. I don't want to be in a hip hop music video. I want to go out there and actually do something for myself and leave that type of environment for good. Immediately. Oh, so you trying to be like them Caucasians, huh? I see you learning bigger words. Oh yeah, you talking white. Oh shit. Oh, you ain't one of us no more. Is that what you're saying? Damn, I didn't know my boy Sir Yeetus was an Uncle Tom. Ain't that some shit? Like, so just because I want to better my life, you're gonna throw racist terms at me. Okay. That's why I don't buy into that bullshit anymore. So
Sorry, just you reminded me of a old joke. You mind if I tell it?
as long as it's not too crazy. Tell me after the stream. Tell me after the stream.
Yeah. I'll message you. I'll message you because it's right on the edge.
Right. But with my channel, oh shit. Oh, overdose. What's going on, man? What's going on? This is not my forte of a conversation to talk about, but I think it needs to be said. Because it's definitely getting out of control, especially within the Manosphere, the Black Manosphere, whatever it is. It's insane how hypocritical some Black content creators can be when it comes to throwing that, oh, oh, white people, oh, you horrible, oh, the system, oh, let's take a knee, y'all. I forgot the other one. Hold up. Y'all remember when Pelosi wanted to lower voting age, but they want to raise pew pew age? Imagine a kid coming out identifying as gun owner. Yeah,
If
what you gonna
anything,
do?
if anything, they should invert that. Like honestly, I'd be okay if like the gun owning age went down to 16 and the voting age went up to 25.
What? Wait, repeat that right quick.
I think honestly, it should be inverted where like the gun owning age should go down to 16 and the voting age should go up to 25.
Oh no. Oh no. No. I can't. I can't even imagine that. Oh shit. Oh shit. Hold up. Wait, you guys are going to all right. Gresh, what's going on, man? I think it's the first time I see you comment. Uh we'll get told I'm the Oreo, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Uh so much. Shit gets grading, bro. Yeah, I know. I know. And once you stop speaking Ebonics, right, and you want to have a very educated stance, use proper grammar, use proper words, able to hang out with various other people that they can understand you. All of a sudden, oh man, oh you're such an Oreo, bro. You ain't one of us. Like what? Bam. Chaz it up. What's going on, man? Thank you for the donation. And thank you everybody else that I miss, with the donation. I forgot to thank y'all. I respect you a lot, man. Your calm tone really pushes your point across. Keep up the fantastic work. Yeah, it all depends how much I drink. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Once I get a few drinks in, that meme where you're like, I'm not gonna get political, and then a few drinks in, that's me. I'll admit that. I am the Senate. Oh shit. Oh, I know I missed your stuff like 3-4 times. All right. Overdose. What's going on? Favorite drink to drink? Oh, man, that's difficult. I would have to say Coke and rum, whiskey and rum. The dark drinks. I'm more of a dark drink guy. But if I'm trying to wild out, get crazy, definitely tequila. Like that's my going out into town drink. Like I get pretty crazy once I get a few shots of that. Mainly Patron. Bam, 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 bam. All right, that's it. All right, Gray. Anything else you want to talk about when it comes to this subject?
I do kind of want to get into like some theories on where the roots of this comes in and why it's infected the Manosphere in particular.
Okay, I'm down to talk about that.
I think a lot of it does come from like racial issues with relationships.
Oh, I never thought about it that way.
Because let's face it, a good chunk of the Manosphere, whether we like it or not, are men who have troubles with relationships. And say if you were to divvy it up, that's the majority of the Manosphere. Like, for better or for worse, it is what it is. And so they're looking for excuses for that, like more than economic reasons, like more than anything else, like relationship choices. Like if you're an Urkel and like you get ditched by Shaniqua for a Chad instead of a Tyrone, you want answers.
You're right. So when it comes to the relationships, do you think that's race? Okay.
There's
Uh,
definitely a race issue when it comes to female choices in relationships, and that's
right,
statistically verifiable.
right. How uh the black women in the community, which also trashes men like us, right? You know, I created a short today about that, right? The woman rejected a nuclear engineer, not an engineer, nuclear physicist, because she wanted a man with personality. Yeah, bullshit. Get out of here. Um, but they preferably will go for men that are non-black, you know, majority of the time. And a few black, I want to say a few, a good amount of black men, they don't like that at all, you know. But it's definitely a lot worse, vice versa, if a black man goes out with a woman that's not black. It's a lot worse.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like black women think that they own black men and that they're entitled to a black man, but they can sample from the entire spectrum of the rainbow.
Exactly, exactly. Because when good men or men that they didn't want before, just like, you know what, let me just venture out, you know, see what's out there. Immediately they start dick policing black men. Immediately, like instantly. That's one of the only group of women that just so enraged when a man in their own community decides to go somewhere else. I haven't heard it from a white woman, really, you know. Eh, Mexican, yeah, Mexican women, yeah, Latina women, yeah, kind of Asian women, yeah. I somewhat see that, but it's definitely the worst in the when it comes to black women, just like screaming their heads off when they see a black man with a white woman or a Latina woman.
Well, and like let's be honest, because I think that also plays into the female desirability radius because black women, this statistically proven, are the least desirable out of all female races.
Oh yeah,
Now, they put that down to, oh, well, they don't like me because of my skin pigmentation. It's like, you sure it's not because you're a fat bitch?
or you're a single mother, or your attitude. Just put it out there.
But, well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, you look at, there's more than just, oh, it doesn't like me because of my pigmentation. It's like, no, it's because you're overwhelmingly single mothers, you're overwhelmingly obese, and fucking read your profile, but swap he for she around. Like swap all the male pronouns for the female. Like you'd be fucking despised by that. Well, at least you'd be despised on the surface. Realistically, they'd probably go for that shit.
And all we say, just like with the rest of the women, right? Because we're not just targeting black women, all right? For the rest of the women, all we said, hey, stay in shape. Don't be a bitch. Be pretty feminine. And don't go out and cheat. And help with the household. If you do that, guarantee you have plenty of options. Even when they didn't do all that, they had plenty of options in the first place. But they weren't Denzel Washington or Chris Evans. So
Yeah, I was like a 4 out of 10 woman still has more options than a 9 out of 10 man.
exactly, I agree.
But this is the thing, like with the black women, like they think they're entitled to the black man because like that's their simp fallback. Like that's who they can overwhelmingly use like a shame tactic on in order to get what they want. Yeah, they're going to treat them like garbage up to that point, but that's their fallback. I believe it was even on one of Kevin Samuel's things where like they say that they prefer to marry a black man, but they're not going to be exclusive with the gash between their legs for black men.
Exactly. Like, I don't agree with a lot of what Kevin Samuels does, but what he says about the black community, he's on point, and that's why black women literally is scorned by him. That's how bad it is.
That's the thing. Like, I focus less on what he said specifically and more so on how the women on his show expose themselves. Like that's where I think the real gems are. Because it's not like men can speak the red pill, but they can have the ulterior motives. But it's the women exposing themselves that's where the real information lies. Like
Right?
whether they're lying or not, like what they will say in those situations, that's where the actual proof comes from. It would be like in a scientific case, like men form hypotheses and test theories, but women provide the evidence.
Well, like I always say before, and Chad, you know too, let a woman talk long enough. For some reason, I don't know why, they just eventually snitch on themselves. It's crazy.
I
Just
think
sit
they
back,
get comfortable.
quiet. What'd you say, Gray?
I think they get comfortable. I think like if they're allowed to talk about increasingly disruptive stuff without any pushback, eventually they get so comfortable that it's kind of like a shit test. They're trying to find exactly what point at which resistance will be provided. And so if you just let them talk long enough without providing any resistance, eventually they go to the more extreme shit. It's kind of like when you're vetting a woman for like a long-term relationship and you want to find out about her sexual history, you have to come across as like the most open, freakiest motherfucker ever, because then they'll confess all of their freaky shit. You come across as a prude who's looking for a virgin, that's who they're going to pretend to be.
Yep, I agree. You said nothing wrong there, none. But just a reminder, gentlemen, sit back, keep your mouth shut. Just let her talk. Just let her talk. Just say something here and there, like that's crazy, or just make sure you give the acknowledgement that you're listening, and just keep let her ramble. You'll find some interesting things about her. But overall, with my with my channel and with the Black Manosphere in general, I see why they want to separate themselves so they can talk specifically about uh, uh, black male issues. But I personally believe that that shouldn't happen because men of all races are going through the same thing in the West. I personally don't believe
That's the other problem, because again, for better or for worse, like the manosphere does become a place to get money by creating content.
Oh
So
yeah.
along those lines, like they want to carve, like everyone wants to carve out their own niche, and they're like, well, let's be honest, they can't really carve out the niche of appealing to white people.
I agree. It's a lot easier to talk about black men's issues because black men and black women will be listening.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you're going to get support from black women, like when you're talking about, like, oh, like white people are the problem, because the women want to keep the black men going for black women.
Or we should keep everybody together. We should keep the community strong. Instead of marrying off with another woman of a woman that's not black. There's plenty of sisters out there that's still looking for their black king and all that nonsense. But I do have respect for a couple of channels for being honest about, hey, hey, I'm getting rich. They say in a funny way, right? They're joking, but at least they're honest about, hey, I'm getting money from making these videos. I'm like, okay, I respect that. They're not hide behind that fake, uh, you know, hey, I care about you guys. I care about the community. I care about this, care about that. But bring up those likes, donate as much money as as you can. And if you don't, I'm gonna stop the entire show until
Yeah.
you I'm at so but I it's just like with my channel, even though I'm African American, I don't see why I see what you said, Gray, about good money in it, but besides that, I don't see why you would just focus on one particular group, because all men are dealing with this situation in the West. It doesn't matter who it is. It
Well,
doesn't
I
matter.
think a lot of it is for, like, if you blame the white man, then you don't have to blame black women.
Yeah, I agree. But I
It's
never.
here's the thing, looking at it from a pure numbers standpoint. So the black population is 15% of the US population, correct?
Yeah.
Meaning that if you do something, like if your content targets like black men exclusively, that limits you to 7.5% of the population.
Right.
But even less, because if you're talking shit about black women, there's a shit ton of black simps because they were raised by single mothers. So that percentage probably drops down even further to, geez, let's say 50% if we're being extremely generous. If that's 3.75%, that can be your target audience. And if you want to go for more universal, like a more universal broad appeal means you're competing with a much larger like group of content creators. Your competition just skyrocketed. And by and large, content creators, they've been in the game for a lot longer. They've cultivated their audience and they've really honed their style. Like you look at both Hammer and this Tito dude, their fucking quality is absolute garbage.
It is. It is pretty trash. And the stuttering, though, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like their speech ability is bad. The audio quality, especially with Tito's, is downright dog shit.
I didn't even know if his mic was working or not.
Honestly, the reverb and the echo are what really fucking clean shit. Like if you don't have any sort of like soundproofing or reverb reduction, like that's a dead giveaway. And it also tells a lot about the shape of the room, because if you've got that level of reverb, it means your room is fucking empty and probably tiny.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But like I was trying to emphasize, you guys would never hear me talking about, let me talk about this one specific issue with this race of men. Like, no. Because the things that are happening in society right now, you guys are feeling it. It doesn't matter what culture, what race you are. If you're in the West, you're going to feel it. Especially what's the upcoming thing that's going to happen in the next couple years or earlier. Oh, we all are going to feel it. So, what do you have to say, Gray?
Yeah, that's where it goes kind of beyond a step. Like if like the only way that you can benefit from racism is if you're looking for a government handout. If you are independently minded, then yeah, your race doesn't matter. The issues are the same.
Yes. I was never raised to dislike or hate a certain group of people. Never. It is unbeknownst to me on why. Oh, look at him. He's a little bit light over there. Let's make fun of him and blame everything that's happening in my life on him. because he has a lighter skin tone. Makes no fucking sense. Like I could never. Like seriously. There's always going to be racist. There's always going to be racism. Yes. But to repeat myself, I really believe it's blown out of proportion in 2022. At least when it comes to the black community.
Well, and then there's going beyond that too. It's like maybe it's even the same as sexism, where it's like if all the white people that you're encountering are racist, and I'd challenge many of these race grifters to give a personal example from their lives when they experienced racism. Because they don't even talk about, well, this is my personal experience where this white guy did this specific thing to me. Like, no, it's always kind of a vague, oh, the black people in general are held down by the white people in general because economic superiority.
Hey, go ahead.
Generational wealth. That's what they pass it down. Like, that's typically what they call on. And part of the problem is, like, first of all, not every white dude is getting generational wealth. Like there's, and that's again, they're looking at the top 10% of the particular race and then applying that same privilege to all the white people, much in the same way that women just look at the Chads and Tyrones and then assume that every single man is a Chad or Tyrone. I'm pretty sure that in much the same way, the poor white man is not visible to like the race grifter. Like they don't see Tim Jones like working at like Wendy's or whatnot, trying to pay for tuition or cover his car payments. Like they don't see like Frank Smith like working 2 jobs 16 hours a week to save up for a down payment on a house. They only see like the rich. They only see the Logan Pauls of the world. Liquid Metal. There's actually a really great comic about Biden straight up stealing a girl's melanin because she refused to vote for him. We was Kangs, now we commies. Well, that's actually a huge part of it too. Because like if you can't lift yourself up, the only way to achieve equality is to tear other people down. And that's what communism promises, is like we can't promise that you will be great, but we can promise that you will be equal to or greater than the people you hate. I'm sure, like he said, they got a phone call or someone's at the door. So they don't have him to bounce off. I'm just gonna look for prompts in the chat.
All right, I'm back, y'all.
Oh, perfect timing. I was running out of material.
What I miss?
Part of the reason that the communism is appealing so much to the We Was Kangs group is because since they can't raise themselves up, communism promises to simply tear down the people that they don't like. And to them, that's good enough.
Well, also pretty much equity.
That's the thing. Equity does not come from raising up those who are lower. It only comes from tearing down those who are higher.
Yeah, why do you think they love to say, especially the liberals overall, but also black people, they love to say, the rich should be able to share their income or whatever. They love to say that because once again, they don't want to work for it. They just want equal outcome.
Well, and that's the thing. It's not even like they care about. That's the thing. They only care about tearing down the rich because they think that the money from the rich is going to go into their pockets.
They'll call it reparations.
But that's where it comes down to. Like, you can convince these people, and it's been proven time and time again, to support the rich if the rich are giving them money.
Right.
Like, case in point, Bernie Sanders. Like, we got to look at all the millionaires. Bernie Sanders becomes a millionaire. Well, now it's the billionaires that are the problem. It's like, motherfucker, it's just anyone who's richer than you that's the problem. If you were a billionaire, you'd be all on about the trillionaires.
And the biggest thing is a crabs in a bucket mentality. Because I know there's a decent amount of infighting in the Black Manosphere. Not saying the Manosphere overall doesn't have infighting, but especially in the Black Manosphere, there's a lot of Black content creators going after each other. Same thing like in society.
And that's the other aspect to it. Because again, like, if they see a Black content creator doing better than them, like, now here's the thing. What should happen, regardless of race, is you're like, okay, this person is clearly appealing to a broader audience or has a more dedicated audience from the group that I want. What can I learn from them? What techniques can I steal from them in order to become better myself and steal their audience? Or, like, let's be honest, the customer. Because when you're a content creator, your audience is your customer, and they are paying you with, yes, money, but also time in exchange for your content. But the thing is, to improve yourself requires a critical eye. And so the people who don't want to look at themselves with a critical eye, they're going to turn to, okay, well, I'm going to tear this person down since I can't or won't build myself up.
Yeah, that's why there was so much hate at first with Kevin Samuels when he had that big jump to success.
Oh yeah, and that's, and like, admittedly, there's the part of, like, there's superior content creators who, like, just get suppressed by the algorithm. But at the same time, like, props to his production quality. He found a good system to work through. Like, honestly, I'm pretty sure that Fresh and Fit, like, saw Kevin Samuels and went like, okay, that's a formula that works. Let's get in on this.
I agree. They only joined in 2021, beginning of 2021.
Yeah, like,
I'm
very
pretty sure.
recent, just yeah. Also, yeah, the Mad Marylander. Yeah, they can bring themselves up, but that requires self-reflection, critical thought, and the willingness to admit that, like, there's room for improvement on your end. And for a lot of people, their lives have been built up by blaming everyone else for every single one of their shortcomings. So yes, they're technically capable, but their brains won't allow them to do it because it would mean destroying the identity that they've built up for themselves over years.
Bingo. But anything else to say? Because I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I think that got through everything we wanted to get to. We went on the relationship bit, the economics bit, and kind of some of the core underlying reasons for blaming another race. So, yeah, I think we got through everything.
And I already know there'll be people, especially the Black community, they're going to take the truth as hate or sipping for the white man and all the other stuff, because, a lot of them, they like to react with emotions first, like talk shit first and ask questions later. Like, you already know how it is. So, and I expect that to happen. But in the end, somebody with a different point of view within that same community has to step up and get out of control. But I'm gonna send you guys over to Undead Chronic right now. This is Sir Yeetus. Hopefully, you guys had your daily gems dropped on you today, and don't be racist. I am out. Peace.
Peace out, Warband.